From the dust and the heat, a new fire is born. Where sun-scorched earth meets the eye of the storm. They said ice in the desert, that's a crazy dream. But we're changing the game, building up steam. The sun beats down, but the ice is cold. We're desert-born warriors, break the mold.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ice Den Scottsdale, and this is our first live stream game of the year here in AHSHA. Alongside me, Colgan Herschel. I'm Easton Stockford. Colgan, great matchup here tonight. Notre Dame Prep Saints versus the Chaparral Thunderbirds. Tied 3-3 last time due to some last-minute heroics from the Firebirds. What can we expect from these two teams tonight?
Easton, a lot of penalties tonight. These two teams lead the league in penalty minutes in the Arizona High School Hockey Association. Key to both of these teams, just stay out of the box, especially for the Firebirds. 200 plus penalty minutes. No other team has 100 in the league so far. That's my key to the game.
And I talked to Anthony Peralta before the game, and he gave me his three keys to the game. Stay out of the box, stay out of the box, and stay out of the box. So with that being said, we're moments away from puck drop here, so we'll take you guys down to ice level, and we will be up in the booth with the call in just a minute. Both teams lined up. We're ready to go here on the Coyote side. Ice Den Scottsdale some more Sunday night AHSHA hockey for you guys. And Notre Dame going to start with possession here. Intercepted at the blue line as Chaparral will elect to just get this one in deep and try and apply some early pressure. On the half wall now, this one's tipped out of the zone, but again hemmed in by the Firebirds. Notre Dame with it now, sporting their new golden alternate jerseys with the St. Bernard on the front, and then in the black jerseys, the Firebirds, as McCulloch will pick it up behind the net. First one there, Shane, as he throws one to the front, but that goes awry. Rimmed all the way down, Herrick hemmed on the wall. As Mickelson will look to bring it out the other way. Here's Mickelson now. He coughs it up off sides, but he'll touch it, so a quick whistle there as we hustled up to our press booth up here, and 50 seconds in, not a whole lot of action. Kind of feels like both teams are filling each other out.
Easton, Dylan Shane already on the puck early. He's going to be one of those players that you're going to really want to look out for the Notre Dame Prep Saints. Him alongside of Tate Mickey, the two leading scorers in the entire Arizona High School Hockey Association. Look out for those two.
And this Notre Dame team undefeated to this point, 8 wins and 1 tie, and that tie came against these Firebirds as here's Perkis below the goal line. Perkis up to Kaplan. Kaplan sent all the way around down low, and Notre Dame will rim this one around.
That last time that these two teams played Coogene Park, 4 seconds left, got the game-tying goal to force a tie.
Man, what a game that was. Probably one of the better games I've ever called, and we'll hope for one just as good here tonight. Wesley with it on the blue line momentarily, but it's taken away from him. As Stallkamp will get it on the forecheck. Gomez from the high slot, that's blocked by Kaplan, and now it's one the other way. Cooper Nagari gets it, but he's alone now. And on Jack Wilson, he let one go, but just wide. Perkis now comes away with it, walking over the top, dancing through one, but he takes the bump from Stallkamp. Now this one's flipped all the way down by Askew, and it'll go off the glove there of Gisler in the bench, and we will get a whistle.
A near 2-on-1 for Cooper Nagari and Kaplan. Kaplan decided to change. He was at the end of a long shift. Probably could have looked to stay on the ice for a little bit longer to try and force that 2-on-1 instead.
And you know, end of a long shift, might have been a little tired per chance, but definitely a chance for them early on.
It was a nice shot, though, by Cooper Nagari on that right side. Just flew it over the shoulder of Wright.
Caden Wright, one of the premier goaltenders here in this league, arguably the best, as this one sent in deep. Kaplan getting in on the forecheck as he throws one in front, but that goes away from him, and here's Gisler the other way. Has help with him on the far side, it's done. Trying to find him now, but can't. McCulloch now at the point. Toe drags to his right, trying to keep it below the goal line, but can't. Now Colgan talked about him earlier. Here's Tate Mickey across the blue. He lets one go. That's blocked by McCulloch. Rebound for Kaplan. Looking for someone back door, but only empty ice there. Watered in deep by Mickey. Trying to lay a hit was Mickey just then. This one will come out to Coletti.
Easton, taking a closer look at these jerseys for Notre Dame Prep, they have that sparkle that the Vegas Golden Knights use in the NHL.
And I kind of like them. They match the gold helmets. They got the St. Bernard on the front. And a couple years ago, Notre Dame had gray alternate jerseys, which a lot of people, including a number of Saints, weren't a huge fan of. But I'd imagine they feel different about these ones.
Knocked it out of the park with this one.
On the half wall now, Gisler with it. Trying to slide it through Shane, but can as this one sent in deep. Battled away by McCann Lennon, who Coach Anthony Peralta only spoke highly of. Talked about how all 18 of his skaters can be an influence on this game tonight, but he thinks that Lennon is going to be the biggest. Now at the point, Firebird sent one through. That's gloved down by right. He looked to play it momentarily, but didn't see a ton of support. But he gets his first touch of rubber on the night.
Just 14 goals allowed through 9 games for Caden Wright. In the 11-save win, the last time these Notre Dame Prep Saints played against Flagstaff.
And they've been dominant so far in this season. And on the flip side, we haven't talked about Chaparral. They're dead last in the league, actually, but I think a lot of people know that that doesn't tell the whole story. This is an extremely talented team who can skate with the best of them. This one's thrown on that. Chance on the doorstep, but couldn't pull the trigger there. It was Curry. This one flipped ahead, trying to bounce over the blue line, but it won't. Now went deep. This one's thrown on goal, but that's easily handled by Wright again, as he thought about playing it once more.
Another nice choke up by Wright. 5th most goals for the Chaparral Firebirds, yet they sit dead last in the league. It has to stem down to those penalty minutes. 231 to be exact, leads the league. The next closest are the Saints with 93.
And quite the difference between those two, between number 1 and number 2, but a combined 21 penalties between the two teams last time. 12 in a big hit attempted there at center ice. And now a chance the other way. It's Mickey. Mickey throws one in front. Kaplan tried to bat it down, but couldn't get a stick to it. Now Glimcher the other way. He'll send this one in deep, trying to let Curry get it on the forecheck, who will be the first one there. Curry now sliding one to Kaplan in the high slot. An easy break out there for the Saints. Mickey shakes the defender off there as it's in his feet. Now the other way comes Harlan, but whistled dead as that is just offsides. And Max Harlan, another skater, talked about prior to this game. And we talk about special teams and how important they are, especially with two teams who get as many penalty minutes as these two. And Max Harlan, maybe one of the best penalty killers in the league. How important is it to have someone like him on your squad who can kill penalties consistently?
It's super important. You need that all-around player who can play in every situation, and Harlan's that kind of guy. He's helped this Notre Dame team to the league's best penalty kill at 89%.
And an impressive mark at that. It's not really close to second place.
Just 3 goals allowed all season on the penalty kill for Notre Dame.
You can afford to go into the box when you can keep the puck out of your net. Here's Shane over the top. Through the high slot now, trying to find Eric, but just out of his reach. Eric now throwing one there, but Savoni gets a paddle to it. And now McCulloch trying to get it out, but he's hemmed in by Eric. Jane pinned on the wall there as well. McCulloch dragged down, but net's kicked off as it looked like McCann took a spill into it. Not sure what happened there, but nonetheless, we get a whistle.
That was the effort from Dylan Shane behind the net. He was initially looking for Herrick across the ice, just put it a little bit too far out in front of him, but he stayed on the puck. He was battling 2 Firebirds behind the net, and he forced that whistle.
Right, both these sides pretty deep as well in talent as they send out some of their lower lines, but really there's no falter in skill there. Kupanagari, Park, Savoni, for the Firebirds, and this one's one to Savoni, trying to rim it around, but Stanius keeps it alive. Now down low is Wesley. Wesley takes a hit on the wall. He'll rim this one up, but Kupanagari's the only one there. Savoni now again tries to rim this one out. Stanius can't get it to it this time, but he gets just enough of it to neutralize an icing call. Kupanagari picks up the rim by right. With it now is Park. Sent one to the high slot there, but taken away by a gold jersey, and now Kaplan will be forced to regroup.
A lot of no-look pass attempts early on between these two teams.
Big hit by Stallkamp there. Didn't play in the last matchup between these two. Played his freshman year for Notre Dame before he broke his collarbone in the playoffs. So a player we haven't seen here on this AHSHA live stream or these recordings all year long. We'll see what type of impact he has tonight.
Physicality making an impact early. Every single time Notre Dame makes contact with a Firebird, the crowd loves it.
And we talked about penalty minutes, and it's going to be an early power play for Notre Dame as reward of the work by Roberto Gomez, as Voorhees is going to go to the box too for tripping.
12 penalty minutes on the year for Tristan Voorhees. And it'll send the league's 5th best power play to the man advantage.
And these power plays aren't too far off from each other. Both of them sitting right around the 20% clip, but 1% higher for the Firebirds. But this top unit is lethal for the Saints as Herrick looks to win it back and will. Harland to Herrick. Snap far side now Mickey. Mickey lets one go just wide. A shot he really likes there walking into that dot. He scored against Chaparral bar south just like that 6 games ago.
3 power play goals on the season for Tate Mickey. Watch for 88 in gold on this power play.
Here he is now, bringing it down the left side. Mickey throws one to the middle. Herrick has a chance, he scores! You talked about Tate Mickey, and he started that one, threw one to the front, and handled somehow by Herrick as he just taps that one in.
8th goal of the season for Herrick. It was the assist from Mickey, his 8th on the year. That's Herrick's first power play goal of the season. It was a beautiful play started by Tate Mickey. On it in the zone by himself on the left side, threw it in front, just hit off of Herrick's leg, and all he had to do was tap it in the 6x4, and Notre Dame leads by 1.
And what a job by Herrick. It looked like he kicked that to his own backhand out of midair almost, which is, I tell you, not easy to do at all, and it gets Notre Dame on the board early.
That's a very skilled goal by this Notre Dame team. It takes a lot of skill to make a play out of nothing. That puck could have easily trickled to the corner, to the end boards after that failed pass from Mickey. Instead, Herrick makes a good play out of it and puts a goal on the board.
Chaparral now offensive zone draw for them as they'll look to counter. Wilson will high flip this one out of the zone. Skittering puck. Wesley comes away with it. He might have a step. McCulloch's there. Wesley sends one through, blocked by Gomez's own body. Stallkamp with it now, trying to apply some pressure. Backhand off the pipe, and he'll roll the goal! Not sure if that one actually went in. We'll have a look at the replay here. But Stallkamp, we talked about how he didn't play. I mean, a backhand shot, and just so close to tell, but nonetheless called a goal, and looked like it may have gotten that top left corner. If it did, what a shot it was.
Yeah, Easton, we're going to get another look at this one. There's a shot from the right side. It hit off the elbow of the crossbar on the far side, and the ref had called it a goal already, and then Notre Dame tapped it in. So that's just a bad angle for the referee, which results in a Notre Dame goal. Be awarded to Jack Henry Eskew of Notre Dame. 2-0 lead early for the Saints.
So they won't get it on the original shot from Stallkamp, I don't think, but I'm not sure why he wouldn't get an assist there. Here's Mickey, though, looking to extend the lead. He shoots, and a save by McCann there. So not sure how Brady Stallkamp doesn't get an assist there, but the goal rewarded to Jack Henry Eskew from Jack Wilson there. So it must have counted on the rebound.
Yeah, that's just poor timing from the referee. It's something that you can't really go too hard against with that shot. It's just bad angle but Notre Dame's going to definitely take it.
And they'll look to take it and run as they continue to mount an attack here. But here's Perkis, probably one of the best skaters in the league. Here he goes. Leaves it back. Park lets one go, but a good stick there by Gomez. Gomez drags the man down. Stallkamp trying to go north, but can't get it out. This one will go below the goal line of Notre Dame, and Coletti will pick it up on the half wall. Sent Park intercepts again. Trying to keep an offensive possession alive here. Kicked over to Perkis. Perkis thrown to the front by Weeks, but it was just wide. Stanius on his forehand. He snaps it forward to Wesley. Wesley with it now. He's all alone. No help. 5 Firebirds back against him. Trying to leave it there for Herrick. It finds Driscoll. Driscoll walking in, but he takes a spill and can't get a shot away. Henry Askew now throws it far side. Driscoll's there. Perkis in his feet trying to get it out, but it's taken away from him by Herrick. Herrick battling away at it. Couple bodies there. Driscoll to the front, but again Perkis denies.
This line of Shane Herrick and Driscoll has had themselves a very impressive start to this hockey game. Some high quality chances, and they're sticking on to pucks. They're not letting any chance go awry.
And not terribly different from what we saw in the first matchup between these two teams, as the top of the stick of Jack Henry Askew snaps there. Chicago looking to capitalize, but can't.
There goes a goal scoring stick right there.
Herrick lets one go. Blocker saved there by McCann. Now the other way comes Park. Park across the blue. On his backhand, he'll curl up and wait for help. Looking for Mickelson, but can't find him. Ref now steps on his stick, takes a hard fall. That is Merchant who's officiating tonight, but he appears to be okay. Gisler to the high slot. Kick back door. Chance for the Firebirds, but fan up. Rebound chance just wide. What a chance for Hepper on the doorstep, but banned on the first, couldn't find the second, and this one remains 2-0 Notre Dame.
That's a grade A scoring opportunity for Brody Hepper. Doesn't have a goal on the season. He's going to be seeing that one in his nightmares tonight.
Gisler brings it across the blue, hammered ahead. Notre Dame trying to establish possession. Here's Mickey again. Mickey has help. Kaplan with him. Finds Kaplan, but it skips over his stick. Askew now looking to regroup. Turns, gets the red line. Can't control it now. Good forecheck by Dunn. Sent far side now. Mickelson intercepts as Gisler now has it. Askew on his forehand. Trying to make a move. Stepping ahead. He'll poke it forward. Harlan does the same. Harlan with it now. Driving the net on his backhand. McCann somehow keeps it out. Kaplan got a poke in, but puck sits between the legs of Lennon McCann.
It's a great save there by Lennon McCann. He had that shot coming in. Nice stick around by Harlan. Went to his backhand. Forced it through, and McCann put his blocker behind his legs to make sure that puck didn't squirt through. It's been a little shaky from Chaparral to start off, but seems like they're settling into the game.
And maybe some tough breaks for them as well, as a couple bounces have gone Notre Dame's way, but kind of similar to what we saw where Notre Dame went up, and we know Chaparral can come back from the last time these two teams met. Up the point, shot by Park, but that's off the side of the net. Again to the high slot, as a body was there, and Umar, but they couldn't touch base.
Park has been very noticeable so far in this game. One of the most noticeable on the side of the Firebirds.
Umar had a chance, but he couldn't stay on his feet, as this one will come back for the Firebirds. Perkis with it now. Trying to use his legs, puts it in a space for himself. Nice play there. Perkis through the middle. He lets one go. Good block there by Jack Wilson on a rush chance. And that one's flipped all the way down. Might have the legs for icing, but not quite.
Great clear by Wesley. Was able to get it all the way the length of the ice without getting an icing, and allowed his team to change.
Trying to keep those shifts quick. Something that Coach Taylor Nelson stressed was important coming into this game, and how important the third period is going to be in this one. Kaplan now in his own end. Snaps it far side. This one's tipped in. Doesn't get into the Notre Dame bench. And Wilson will have it now. The captain of this Notre Dame squad. Eric dummies one, and stepping through now the other way comes Barlow. Barlow throws one far side. Shane moves it to Herrick. Herrick couldn't slip around Kaplan. Now Shane will support him. Up top to Wilson. Wilson, quick shot blocked by Prairie. Hit on the wall there. Herrick hammering away at it. As this one's in front for Shane. Might have had a chance, but couldn't get a clean stick. Herrick now pulling, shooting, and a big save there by McCann. McCann starting to find his footing here, but pressure mounting. Shane lets one go just wide. Now Curry behind the goal line. He can't handle it, and this one's shipped over. Now with it is Shane. Shane trying to keep it alive, but can. This one will go to Gilchmer, that is, down the left side. Trying to step around one, but can't. The long stick of Henry Askew gets in the way. Harlan now walking and lets one go just wide. So a plethora of chances there for the Saints, but nothing to show for it as Lennon McCann is standing strong, falling 2 early goals.
It was that Shane line once again. They had about 45 seconds of established zone time in the offensive zone. They've been the X factor for the Notre Dame side so far. Harlan jumped on the ice with them a little bit towards the end, and that just adds a little bit of extra firepower.
Then you add this line to follow of Harlan, Kaplan, and Mickey, and there's no drop off there between those top 6 for the Saints.
Chaparral student section getting into it now.
And this place filled out quick. It was packed last time we were here, and it is again. And a playoff atmosphere here at the Ice Den Scottsdale. This one fluttered ahead. Mickelson couldn't handle it. Savoni kicks it right back to him. Now Dunn. Wilson stepping up, but Dunn beats him. Dunn takes a huge hit there from Justin Kaplan as he leveled him, and he'll take a shot now, and he'll head to the box. You can hear the oohs and ahs from that Notre Dame student section, and that was a decimating hit from Justin Kaplan.
That might have been one of the biggest hits I have seen at the high school hockey level. That was as clean as can be from Kaplan, but a little high on the side of number 3. But here comes the penalties.
Going to be 2 in a game misconduct, so Kaplan will serve 12 minutes in the box. A huge loss for the Saints, and a 2-minute power play for the Firebirds.
That hit was absolutely massive on the boards from Kaplan. Just leveled him.
Driscoll will be the one to serve, and with those new USA hockey rules that have been implemented, those are the type of hits that might not have been called in the past, as they look clean, but something that the referees are being told to try and take out of the game.
It's all about safety, and I totally agree.
And head injuries are no joke, and head contact is the call there. Askew, though, gets this one off the draw, over to Mickelson. Mickelson stepping in, put it just wide.
We'll see what kind of movement this Firebirds team can set up in the offensive zone. They haven't had a whole lot of established zone time so far in this first frame.
And looking to, at the very least, try and gain some momentum, but third best power play in the league. Mickelson now sends one far side, chance for Gissler, he scores! Chaparral fires back as Enzo Gissler gets them going on the power play.
Gissler, the league leader in assists in Arizona, gets his 5th goal of the season on the board. A beautiful pass from Mickelson into the corner. It almost seems as if Caden Wright wasn't ready for that shot. But it was a beautiful one from Gissler. And just like that, the Firebirds are back to within 1.
So one shot cuts the lead in half. It almost looked like Caden Wright saw Cooper Nagari, who was just shading behind Gissler there, and thought it might have been going to him, but Gissler caught the pass, whether it was intended for him or not, and he took full advantage of that high slot positioning.
Kind of caught Caden Wright a little bit surprised. He was expecting that pass to go across Gissler. Instead, he takes it and fires it. And a couple of words between referees and Jackson Wilson on the side of Notre Dame.
Trying to figure out maybe what's going on. As I know the power play is over as it was taken off the board. I'm not sure what coaches and captains alike could be looking for following that goal. Minute 6 remaining in the first frame here, and 3-goal first period, 2 for the Saints, 1 for the Firebirds, as here's Gisler once more. Gisler throws one to the front, but that's thwarted away there by Caden Wright. Battling on the near wall here, looking to get it out, and they will. Stallcamp 3-on-1. Gomez with them on the far side's Wesley. Sent over to Wesley, wanting it offsides was the Firebirds bench, but didn't matter, at least for the moment, as Dunn takes a hit. Wilson now sends one through, but that sails wide. Stanius sends one all the way around. Gisler will pick it up and go back to his own goal line, but a good forecheck by Wesley. Wesley still on the forecheck. Great work by him, but Savoni eventually comes away with it. Stanius over to Askew. Askew lets one go. Tipped. Good save. Rebound chance. Oh, what a save by Lennon, and Stolkamp plays a big hit. And again, the Saints are going to the box. So talked about discipline was one of Coach Taylor Nelson's keys to victory. And a 2-10 here, and a power play goal for the Firebirds. And just moments after, with 7 seconds left in the period, the Saints are heading back to the box.
You've got to stay disciplined within those final seconds of the frame, especially in your offensive zone. You've got to limit those offensive penalties from both sides. Notre Dame so far, the more undisciplined team.
And not something the numbers would have told you coming into this one as well, but also I'd like to mention what a save by Glennon McCann there at the other end, sprawling across and somehow getting a paddle to that rebound chance by Stallkamp.
He's looked sharp early. I know there's 2, maybe 1 goal that's gone past him, but he's looked sharp.
Chaparral 1 for 1 tonight. We'll try to do it again here. Park lets one go at the buzzer, but that will do it for the first period of play. Score through one period, 2-1 in favor of the Saints, but a minute 54 of power play remaining when we return. Colgan, what are your takeaways from this one so far?
Yeah, it started off as predominantly Notre Dame. They had a lot of momentum early, a lot of high-quality scoring opportunities, especially from that Shane line. But then penalties started to take into effect, and that's kept them off of the ice, leading to Chaparral getting some momentum, and the goal from Gisler sparked that comeback for the Firebirds. They're 1 for 1 on the power play, but we will take a quick breather and be right back here in just about 30 seconds time. So both teams line up the center ice here. 15 fresh minutes on the clock for the second period. A minute 53 remaining on Chaparral's power play. What did you see on that first power play, Colgan? And what do you want to see on this second one? Well, I saw a great pass from Mickelson to Gisler. That was the best part of that power play. They didn't really have a whole lot of established zone time. Just a couple of clears from Notre Dame. Just a quick pass from Chaparral, which allowed for that first goal. We'll see if they can get set up a little bit more here on this power play.
Trying to establish clear zone time is maybe not trying to find those one-off chances as much as Park will bring it across the blue now.
I mean, this Chaparral team has a lot of skill. You look to Park, you look to Perkis, two of the best players on this team, and then you have Gisler, who's the best playmaker in this league, tied most with 11 assists.
And a staggering amount through as many games as they played in 8, especially considering he's probably missed a handful of those as well. Upanagari tried to keep it outside of the zone for a change, but brought it across the blue, and a whistle will be called.
As you mentioned, 6 games played, now 7 for Gisler. He has a point in every single one of those. He's got 2 or more in 5 of the 6, so he has been an offensive machine for the Firebirds.
And such an impactful factor travel hockey is in this league, as so many top players miss games when they're playing AAA, going to different tournaments, and I think that's part of the reason Chaparral's record reads the way it does. Mark sends one through, can't catch it. Wright couldn't catch it, but gets a break there, and some help from Harlan as that one's cleared.
Now that one popped just out of the glove of Wright. He gave a little bit of the head shake right after that one. He wanted to grab that one in his glove. Lucky for him, Notre Dame was able to clear.
Gets away with one. Spurkis will leave this one back for Park. Park bringing it to his left. He'll drop this one back for Umar. Umar looking for options. He'll send one through, but that's tipped wide. Umar now back in on the forecheck. Sends this one deep, but Harlan's the first stick there. Wilson now with it. He sends this one all the way down. Good clearance by them, and 20 seconds remaining on the Firebird power play.
Nice clear from Notre Dame. Best in the league. They've already given up one, though, tonight.
Trying to get back to their normal ways. This one sent in deep. Has maybe one chance here. 5 seconds remaining on Chaparral's power play, but Poletti will have it in the corner, and the Saints are back to full strength with that clear, and Stallkamp will go right on the ice in on the forecheck, and his line mates will join him. Behind the net now, coughed up in front by McCulloch, but McCann was there to swallow it up.
A little bit of pushing and shoving after the whistle.
And something that's kind of developed into a rivalry early on here in this season between these two teams, as that's what happens when you play in close games in front of packed crowds, and the crowd definitely plays a factor in that as well. Both teams know it's important to play the game between the glass, and that's part of the reason they were so undisciplined last game, with 12 penalties for Chaparral and 9 for Notre Dame.
And those 12 penalties from Chaparral got their head coach suspended, so
we'll try not to do that one again, as that one's tipped into the netting and out of play.
Talk about that rivalry atmosphere between these two teams, and it really comes to fruition when you actually watch the game. I mean, the stats only tell you so much, but when you see all these penalties and then the pushing and shoving after the whistle, a lot of these guys play on the same teams for their club sides. And you got to wonder what those conversations are kind of like when they go back and play for their teams, when there's so much animosity between the teams, between whistles.
And it's such a unique dynamic to have those players who talk trash to each other at practice and then go and try and win tournaments. Chance for Driscoll on the rebound, but that was wide. Now the other way comes McCulloch, trying to spring a rush chance here. McCulloch bringing it across the blue himself. It's in his feet as Shane rubs him out.
Great back check there by Dylan Shane. Stuck on McCulloch, who was able to get the puck away from him.
Now Shane with it now, trying to do something on offense, bringing it to the middle. Shane lets one go, but that's right into the barrel there of Lennon McCann. And that was something that Coach Taylor Nelson also talked about when I spoke to him earlier this week, was playing two-way hockey. That was one of his keys to the game, and turning defense into offense, which was a great example of what just happened on that back check from Dylan Shane.
Yeah, that was about as clear an example as you could possibly get. Dylan Shane, the back check on the defensive side, turns around, grabs the puck, goes in, and grabs a shot on goal for Notre Dame.
And wasn't necessarily a threatening shot, but nonetheless gets the Saints an offensive zone draw. But it's turned over quickly. Here's a chance the other way. Mickelson with a chance. He slashed on the back check. We might have a penalty shot. We'll see. And we will. So Mickelson going to center ice. A slash by Jack Wilson. And it'll be one-on-one between Mickelson and Wright.
Jackson Wilson had a couple of words to say after the whistle. Put all of his energy into that back check. Got a slash right on the hands of Mickelson. That's a great call by the referee.
And yeah, he wanted, maybe thought because he had one hand on his stick, maybe no slashing, but he got a good whack at him. Maybe trying to argue for no penalty shot as well, but Chaparral student section on their feet now for one of the most exciting plays you get in hockey. Dylan Mickelson, one-on-one. Caden Wright, he moves to his left. Mickelson in, takes a shot, swatted away by Caden Wright, and a huge save on the penalty shot.
That's a momentum changer in this game for Notre Dame. Chaparral was pressuring. That was Mickelson, the league leader in goals with 10. And Caden Wright shut the door.
And
beautiful stop there by Wright.
you talked about how those traveled teammates earlier, and Mickelson heard a little something from his AAA Coyote teammate Dylan Shane on his way to the face-off circle. Now he'll face off against another teammate in Harlan who wins the draw. Wilson slides one through the middle, Barlow with it. Trying to move it north on his backhand, but can as this one skips away from him and Gisler intercepts. Gisler kicked to Kaplan. Kaplan sent far side, Mickelson with it now. Punched ahead to Gisler. Gisler walking through, trying to get a shot away. He's dragged down, couple bodies in the net. Some arms go in the air and look for a goal, but a whistle was blown before it crossed, and I don't think it would have counted anyway.
I don't think it's going to count considering everything, including the puck, went in the net on that play.
And Dunn was the one driving the net. Matthew Dunn. It's a hard spill into Kane Wright. It seemed like we had three bodies and a puck all between the red posts.
Yeah, Chaparral just put everything towards the net. Puck did cross the line, but obviously so did a couple of Chaparral Firebirds, so that goal will not stand.
An offensive zone draw for the Firebirds. Gisler, the one who created the chance, and to take it against Stallkamp. Gisler wins a 40, scores! Oh, what a play! Enzo Gisler taps it through the legs, wires it home. Put that one on the highlight reel.
That looked to be a design face-off play by Gisler. On the left side, wins it through the feet of the centerman Stallkamp and fired it right between the legs of Wright. That's a high IQ play by Gisler, his second goal of this hockey game.
That is beyond impressive what Enzo Gisler just did, and in a huge moment as well, leveling this game at 2.
That's just showing you the skill that this Chaparral team has.
So Gisler unassisted for his second goal of the night as he is one away from a natural hat trick for the Firebirds right now. Shane looking to counter. Shane has Herrick with him, but he turned it over and took a hit from Umar.
This Firebird crowd is now totally into this hockey game. It was all Notre Dame to begin in the first period. Now it's all Chaparral.
Umar with it now. He takes a bump there from Herrick, and he takes another shot. He gives one back as well, but here's Park. Park dragging to the front, but he couldn't pull the trigger. Coletti with a good stick there. And Coletti with a bump as well. Firebirds fans want a penalty, and now Park will get one on a bump. It'll be called a cross-check, and boos rain out from the stands here. Things starting to heat up here.
It's going to be Park going to the box. Chaparral wanted a penalty on the previous hit. Instead, it's going to be Park who goes to the box for a cross-check.
And you can feel the energy in this building right now. And honestly, what a response it's been by the Firebirds following a penalty shot that was saved, not letting that get them down and turning that into almost a positive off the offensive zone draw almost immediately.
It's a huge power play here for Notre Dame. They've just seen the game-tying goal go past them. Chaparral has been owning this game in the second period. We'll see what kind of response Notre Dame gives.
And it's been a game of momentum swings thus far. We'll see if that continues. Stallkamp up to the point, Harland with it. Harland walking in, he'll kick it out to Mickey. Mickey lets one go, that's wide. Herrick keeps it alive. Stallkamp now in the trapezoid, but it's taken away by Schau. Schau shovels one into the netting and takes a bump from Stallkamp as well as the physicality continues.
On that previous shot, Mickey just missing the net by a few inches. It's the second time we've seen him miss from that side of the ice. The first time coming in the first period, maybe just a little bit of recentering. Flexes his stick on the ice, he knows it.
And it seems like they're almost trying to run that power play through Mickey on that left flank, and trying to get him the shots he wants to look for.
It's no wonder they do that. Most points in the league for Mickey. Got to run it through your superstar.
And he's got a rocket attached to that stick as well. He can really rip it. Harlan kicked over to Mickey. Mickey back up top to the point. It's Harlan over to Herrick. Herrick banks this one back up. Harlan quarterbacking this power play. Mickey lets one go on the ice. Stolkamp with a tip. It's loose. No goal. It was sitting on the goal line. Notre Dame wants it thrown back on Mickey. Off-angled shot, but that's wide as well. And what a chaotic sequence that was.
Couldn't tell who got a stick on it or if it was the goalie. Beautiful stop there for Chaparral.
And now McCann without his stick as Mickey sends one wide. Herrick pinning it on the wall, looking for help, but he'll do it himself. Nice move by Herrick. Trying to get through another, but can't slide it to the front. Stolkamp was awaiting it. And a bump there given by Mickelson. Firebirds battling away, trying to get this out and get a change there in need of one now. Shane will pick it up in the neutral, but no chance as there's a long change in the second period.
Huge momentum for the Saints. Beautiful goal line clearance for Chaparral.
And what a sequence that was, but here's another chance the other way. Herrick from the seat of his pants trying to find Stolkamp, but he couldn't get it through. Another call coming here. McCulloch gave a shot to Stolkamp, and he's going to serve as well. So stay out of the box, stay out of the box, stay out of the box. And two-man in the box for the Firebirds.
There's the penalty on your screen.
It looks like a roughing call based on how the official Merchant signaled it on McCulloch, but a brief 5-on-3 chance for the Saints as they will have 19 seconds on the two-man advantage. Look to see how their setup changes up two as compared to one.
And they already have power play goal in this game, looking to add another.
Askew sent one through, but that was swatted aside by McCann, and a huge clearance from the Firebirds as time winds down on the first penalty by Park, as he'll return to the ice momentarily. And here he is out of the box, but Gomez across the blue now. Wesley Park straight into the action on the penalty kill. Wesley now again, he sends one through, but that's tipped into the netting and out of play.
We're going to get an opportunity to look at that goal line clearance from a few minutes ago. It squeaked through the legs of Micken, and it was cleared off the line by Gisler.
What a game Enzo Gisler has had. Both ends of the ice, scoring both their goals, saving another, and that was game of inches, as they say, inches away from going in.
It's about as close as it comes for Notre Dame. They're going to want that one back, and they have an opportunity to get that here.
Only up one man now, but a minute and a half to do it as both centers are booted from the circle.
Can't believe how long that puck sat on the goal line for Notre Dame before Gisler cleared it.
No bodies there as well. The little urgency was needed as Park will clear this one down and Wright will play it.
The difference between these two power plays is obvious. There's been a lot of established zone time for Notre Dame. Chaparral does have the power play goal, but they haven't really been able to get anything set up on the offensive side on their power play.
And that's huge in building momentum as well for the Saints as compared to the Firebirds. Herrick now kicks it up to Shane. Shane dancing at the blue line. He'll leave it for Harlan, but it's almost poked away. Good keep, though. Mickey now off angle, trying to throw one to the high slot, but couldn't get it through. Harlan sends this one below the goal line, and it'll rattle all the way around to Perkis. Perkis hemmed off. Good support by Park, but still sewn to the wall. Harlan now with it. He goes up top. This is Herrick. He sauces one over to Mickey, who kicks it down. Now with it, Shane. Shane far side there for Harlan, but they couldn't connect. Now turned over, 2-on-1 chance. Curry has help with them. Gisler was the man, but took him a second too long as Gisler skates this one off sides.
Good opportunity there for Chaparral on the penalty kill. A nice play in the corner by Perkis to kill a little bit of time on the Notre Dame power play. Just 13 seconds remaining on that. So far, so good for the Firebirds as this penalty kill, which ranks 9th out of 10 in the league at 71%, has been shining so far in the second period.
And against one of the more talented power plays in the league as well, as just 9 seconds remain. Perkis below his own goal line as 7 minutes hang up on the clock in this second period, and Caden Wright makes his stick to signal the power play is over. Askew throwing one far side. Gomez couldn't bat it down. Gomez trying to go up top, but he turns it over. Umar the other way. He moves it to Mickelson. Right back to Umar. Trying to make a drag play, but Gomez was there. Mickelson now good back check there in his offensive zone to break that up.
Umar just a couple of steps too quick.
Gomez now stepping into one. Chance for the Saints. Gomez lets it go. That's called by McCann.
McCann has looked really, really good in this second period. No goals so far. And he's been shutting the door on this Notre Dame side.
And shots fairly even, as well as the goals. 15 for the Saints, 14 for the Firebirds. So a level-headed match here as 6.5 remain in the second period.
If you took a look at the standings before this game, you would not imagine it to be this close.
Oh, but as we mentioned, this Chaparral team's one of the best 5-on-5 teams in the entire league. And it's the penalties that's been killing them.
Unfortunately for them, there hasn't been a whole lot of 5-on-5 play on this game.
Herrick sends one through, but that's paddled away. McCann lost his stick in the process. On the blue line there, a couple bodies trying to do their respective tasks. Weeks is there, as well as a couple gold jerseys. This one down low, chance here. Off angle shot from Shane, but that's off the side of the net. Chance for Herrick again, that's wide. Shane bringing it up, he'll slide this one over to Stanius. Stanius sends it through, but that doesn't get on goal either. Shane still with it, walking in. Dylan Shane lets it go off the side of the net. Still with it as McCann was out of position. Coletti was creeping in, but Shane could not get the pass off. Chaparral desperately trying to get it out, and they will. Coletti with it, trying to neutralize the change here. Here's Stanius. 3 guys go for a change. Mickey lets one go, but that's snatched out of the air by McCann. And a much-needed line change gets off for the Firebirds with that whistle.
That Shane line had the Firebirds hemmed into their own zone for quite some time. They have been relentless this entire game. Definitely the best line so far for the Saints.
I absolutely agree with that, Colgan, and I would argue the best line easily in this game.
Yeah, they've made a play pretty much every single time they've stepped on the ice.
Umar now looking to make a play himself. He leaves this one back to Kupanagari. Umar sent to the front, off the skate there of Tomachuk, but didn't go in as a couple bodies try and get this out. Arm in the air. We're going to have a penalty coming. It's going to be on Chaparral. Harlan trying to make advantage as that one's knocked away by McCann. Right hustling to the bench, but the Firebirds will touch up, and straight to the box goes Tristan Voorhees for his second penalty of the game.
It'll be a trip against Tristan Voorhees. Another power play for Notre Dame. They weren't able to capitalize on the 2 previous. 1 for 3 so far in this contest.
And they've had plenty of power play chances here. It feels like they've been on the power play for almost the entirety of this second half of the middle period here at the Iceland Scottsdale, but nothing to show for it as we are still level at 2 here as 4 minutes and 44 seconds remain in the period and 2 minutes for Notre Dame on the power play.
1 for 4 on the game for Notre Dame.
Sent out early on there by Chaparral. Mickey will be forced to chase it all the way back to his own end.
The Saints want to do something on this power play. They're going to have to look for that man who just gave away the puck, Tate Mickey. He's going to have to be the guy that they facilitate offense through.
He was a leader on this team last year, wore the A, went out with a broken femur, and he has hit the ground running in his return this year. This one's sent out again by the Firebirds as Shane will be forced to regroup as a whole lot of nothing so far for the Saints, and this Firebirds penalty kill has looked very good. Gisler stepping up. Herrick knocked off his stick by Schau. Gisler with it as he'll just send this one down, and another clearance as it feels like Notre Dame hasn't even touched the offensive zone and half this power play has vanished.
Gisler was looking up ice, hesitated for a second, thought he could get the puck up with a scoring opportunity, and instead he elects for the clear. Smart play there by 97.
Mickey with time and space down the left flank now. Perkis on him, and he takes it away. What a job by Perkis, and he has speed now. Shane, the last man back. Couple supporting Perkis, trying to dance through, but great stick there by Dylan Shane.
Man, once again, that two-way play of Dylan Shane. He acted as the defenseman on that play, made a great play on the defenseman, Dean Perkis.
And a line on the power play that has 5 forwards for the Saints. So really no defenseman to be back for them, relying on their up front guys to play both ways on the power play.
And that's why a guy like Dylan Shane is so important to your team. When you can have a forward that is that good on the defensive side of the puck, you can throw 5 guys out there on the power play. Similar to kind of the Toronto Maple Leafs in the NHL. How when they had Mitch Marner on their team, he was a very good two-way player. That's kind of my player comparison for Dylan Shane.
And I think that's a great comparison, and Mitch Marner would fit right in on this team with these jerseys now playing for Vegas, as maybe Mitch Marner's out there wearing number 95.
I think he might be a little bit too old to play in this league, but you never know. He's not the tallest guy in the world, so he could probably fit in.
Askew kicks this one ahead to Wilson. Wilson right back to Askew. 5 seconds remaining on the power play as the stick of Caden Wright bangs once more, marking an unsuccessful power play for the team wearing gold. Askew now steps into one. It's off the pipe by the looks of it. Maybe caught a body in front as this one's and Driscoll's gonna be ejected. I believe Driscoll's gonna go at least to the box for butt ending as he stuck a knob out. Yeah, he's going straight to the locker room.
And Chaparral is letting them hear it. Driscoll is gone. It'll be a power play this time for Chaparral. Wilson with a couple of words for the referee, as we'll get another look.
And I did catch that one. It looked like Driscoll, following the whistle, just stuck the knob of his stick out and jabbed it into the side of, I believe that's Park there. And you're going to get called for that 10 times out of 10 if the referee sees it. And you're going to serve 5 minutes 10 times out of 10 if the referee sees it as well.
It's a great eye from you, partner. I did not see that one. And it'll be a long and extended 5-minute power play for the Chaparral Firebirds. This is an absolutely huge opportunity. You're going to have the power play heading into the third period regardless of what you do on this power play. We'll see if they can capitalize.
Chaparral can score as they please on this power play here.
Here's another NHL comparison. The Vegas Golden Knights, when they took a 5-minute penalty in the playoffs years ago against the Sharks, San Jose scored a bunch of goals to tie it up. We'll see if Chaparral can act as the Sharks here.
Trying to use that same momentum. Here's a chance in the slot. What a save by Caden Wright with the left pad.
It's the first time we've seen Wright be tested in quite some time.
And that's where you can get caught off guard, really, when you haven't seen some action. Kupanagari to the high slot. Park lets one go. Another save by Wright. Kupanagari keeping it alive, but a good intercept by Askew, and he'll fling this one over to the Chaparral bench. Herrick's going to be the first one there. He has a chance. Driving wide, he's dragged down. No arms in the air. And the Saints bench is irate. 4-on-2 chance now for the Firebirds the other way. Gisler snapping one through. Perkins with the shot. He scores! And it into the 5-minute power play. And Dean Perkis gives the Chaparral Firebirds a 1-goal advantage, and they'll still have 4 more to add on to that.
The best power play that we have seen from Chaparral all night. Set up in the offensive zone. It was a laser from Dean Perkis that found the net under the blocker of Caden Wright. Dylan Shane came off the bench absolutely in flames, and rightfully so. They wanted a penalty, didn't get it. Chaparral goes back and scores the go-ahead goal with under 2 minutes in the second period.
So it feels like Notre Dame might have stole one with that post early on in this one, and maybe Chaparral returning the favor test there. And Colgan, you're never going to believe who assisted that goal. It was Enzo Gisler, his third point of the night, as he has been everywhere.
You're right, Easton. I don't believe it.
Park now leaves it for Gisler. Over to Perkis. Perkis sends it through again, but Wright has the answer that time. And a huge hit by Stallkamp there on Park, and he had some words for him after. Killing these last 4 minutes would be huge, but a chance for Kupinagari. Coletti was there, though. 50 seconds remaining in this middle frame, and a hard hit there by Kupinagari on Stanius as this one sent all the way down.
Seems like every bit of action is resulted in some fire from the student sections of both sides. Both crowds are really into this one.
Both sides involved on and off the ice, as this has been a fun one to watch here on this Sunday night at the Ice Den, as Mickey sends one down. 25 seconds remaining in the frame. 2 minutes and 45 seconds remaining on Driscoll's 5-minute major. Pressure from Harlan here. We talked about his penalty killing earlier. Mickey with a shot just wide again, as he just can't find his target. 8 seconds remaining now. Sent far side by Harlan. Maybe one last chance, but Perkis will hammer it forward as time winds down, and that'll do it for 30 minutes of action-packed hockey here at the Ice Den. And we talked about discipline. There's been a lack of it for sure tonight, Colgan. What do these teams need to do in this final frame? For one, Chaparral to hold on to this lead, and two, Notre Dame to find their way back into it.
Well, Notre Dame has to quiet this crowd for sure. The Chaparral student section has been getting into it in the second period, which was owned completely by the Firebirds. Not only just the 2 goals and the comeback, but just more of the momentum and more of the zone time. There was a lot of power play action for Notre Dame, but Chaparral really owned that 5-on-5 play, which goes to their team's goals heading into the game.
And both teams spirited hockey through 30 miles and 15 miles remaining in what has been a marathon for both sides after this quick break. Well, we told you the break would be quick, and just like that, we're back. Don't want to pull you guys away from the action for too long, as this one has been incredible to watch.
45 minutes of straight hockey. You've got to love it.
No ice cuts, no breaks, just all action here from the Ice Den, as Mickelson will look to get the party started on this 5-minute major for Chaparral, as 2 minutes remain now. Marcus walks one man. It was Harlan. Kicked over. Park lets one go. Save, rebound opportunities there. Well, that's engulfed by Caden Wright with a big save.
A great play there by Dean Perkis on the back end. My partner mentioned his skating at the beginning of the game. Twisted through one. Found Park on the side. Park grabbed the shot, and then Perkis followed that one up with a rebound of his own. Dean Perkis has shown his skating abilities so much so far on the back end for Chaparral.
And he has been a key player for them. Has that go-ahead goal as of now. We'll see, as that is subject to change. I'm sure the Saints will want to respond. Gisler with it now. He's at the red hot stick here tonight, but he turns it over. Chance the other way. Shane Perkis shadowing him. Driving. Shane with a chance on his backhand. Perkis is going to get called for a hook. And no penalty shot. Unfortunately, as I would love to see another, but Dean Perkins got his stick in there, and a huge play by Dylan Shane to neutralize the rest of that 5-minute major by Ryan Driscoll.
That's the right call there by the referee. Dylan Shane did not have a clear chance in on goal. Perkis got a little bit shaky with the stick. He'll head to the box, and Now, for the first time in this hockey game, some 4-on-4 action.
And that's shocking with how many penalties we've had here tonight. And Chaparral will look for one more, but now a battle between the student section as well as they jaw back and forth to each other. And this is why we love high school hockey, Colgan.
I mean, both these crowds have been absolutely terrific tonight. Hands down, some of the best performances are coming from the crowds here tonight. They have really put all their energy into it.
It makes it more fun for everyone, including us. 3 guys out for the Saints as they look to change. Herrick will hop the boards. Maybe didn't get the change off before the whistle. Savoni will hammer it down, and this will be icing, as I think you forgot it's 4-on-4 hockey.
Yeah, I might have forgotten there. That was exactly what happened to my partner as well. Herrick had to stay on the ice as he didn't change quick enough. Luckily for Notre Dame, they got the quick icing, so now they can establish some zone time with the 4 that they wanted on the ice.
And it would have been 3 forwards, 1 defenseman. They're electing for a 2-and-2, which is more traditional, as Green was the one making the change as he zips this one to Askew. Askew's shot blocked by McCulloch. Shades of his father there, blocking shots as he did for the Coyotes, son of Zabinik McCulloch, who played here in the Valley for quite some time.
He's feeling it. He's shaking up after that shot. That was a hard shot from the 6'7", 234 Jack Henry Askew on the back end for Notre Dame.
And they don't make them much bigger than that, and I know there's nobody bigger than that here in high school hockey. And that's a tough shot to wear, especially off the ankle, but he's still out there, he's still battling as hockey players do.
That's the grit you're looking for from a hockey player.
McCulloch shovels it forward now, sends it far side. Askew couldn't keep it in. Askew with the now, but he coughs it up. Nicholson takes it away and will find the safety of his own net.
If you're Chaparral, you need to start executing some zone time before your power play time expires. It's 4-on-4. You want to try and milk as much time with the even strength as possible.
And that clock is just slowly winding down for one side and moving rapidly for the other, as both teams in search of their own mission here, and Chaparral looking for a marquee win to spark a surge for the rest of the year.
It's foot on the gas if you're the Firebirds. You do not want to let up and just wind the clock down. You need another goal. You need that insurance marker, or else this Notre Dame team is going to come back.
McCulloch pirouetting in his own net there. Nice move despite the banged up foot. Now a chance in the slot. Michelson, his shot was blocked. Huge heat there by Askew. Now Mickey looking to counter. Mickey with speed, driving wide. What a play that is by Philip Kaplan. Stepped into there, and a save by McCann as an off-angle chance there from Dylan Shane.
Yeah, Dylan Shane taps his chest. He knew he had Askew on the far side. Elected for the shot of his own. And McCann, man, has he been great since that first period. He allowed the first one, and then the second one, which was a little bit controversial, but ever since then, he has been perfect.
And Coach Anthony Peralta was saying he's his pick to be the swing player in this game, and to this point, his pick has been spot on.
That's a coach that knows his hockey team.
Shane with it now. Still, he was frustrated with himself after missing Askew, and that's a big body to miss as well. Shane trying to step through a couple. Stepping into it is Barlow, poking away at McCann, and he'll get a response there. Umar's going to go to the box for sure. Shane's going to grab a hold of him.
You need to be disciplined if you're Notre Dame. You're about to head to a power play. You don't want to add anything to your total.
And if you're Umar in that situation, 2 seconds left on that Perkis power play, but your goalie takes a shot. Do you think it's the right choice to stand up for your netminder there, especially when McCann's been that good, or up 1 goal? Do you need to stay disciplined?
I don't think Anthony Peralta is going to be upset with the play, but if you're Umar, you have to be more disciplined. You cannot make it that obvious for the referee to call a penalty, because now Notre Dame is going to get an opportunity to set up on a 5-on-3 with Perkis remaining in the box.
Just 2 seconds, Perkis will be in the box, but that also accounts for a change, so maybe about 10 seconds of 5-on-3 action as Mickey picks it up. Mickey sends one for a high tip, but Herrick couldn't connect. Perkis straight in to the penalty kill as he will drop back to defense with Kupanagari.
I believe I believe they started 2 forwards on that 5-on-3. A little bit shortened, and Perkis will just slide out there on the defensive side.
And it looks like Cooper Nagar is dropping back to D for this penalty kill, as he is typically a forward, but will be played at defense, sent down, tipped by him, no high stick. Park will be able to apply some pressure here, and he's the first one there. All the way back is Mickelson, a heads-up play there by Park, just eating clock off the board.
It's an extremely smart play by Chaparral to just kill some time, especially on the penalty kill. Heads-up play there by Park and Mickelson, as my partner mentioned.
Harlan kicked over to Herrick. Herrick sachets around one. He'll cross the red. He'll kick this one out to Stallkamp. He's bumped by Cooper Nagari. Good job to take him off the puck. Shane with it now, looking to regroup. Over to Harlan. Harlan to Herrick. Herrick now trying to start something here. Over to Shane. Sends one through. Harlan gets a stick to it. On the wraparound. Oh, he couldn't put it off. Second chance opportunity. Sending to the netting. That's a huge block by Mickelson. And McCann had an incredible save in the mix as well, as Notre Dame can't buy a goal.
Incredible defense by Chaparral. It was the wrap attempt by Herrick, and then the block shot in front by Mickelson. As this game remains a 1-goal lead for Chaparral, they have shut the door on the defensive side in this third period.
And I don't know what it is about this rink and being over here with Dr. Ben and myself, but we're always treated to a show.
This is great. I'm sitting here quiet, just enjoying this amazing game.
Then a little bit of free hockey is never a bad thing to complain about.
Especially when it's this good. This one's sent all the way down by Perkins. Wright will play it himself. 15 remaining on the Umar penalty. Intercepted by Gisler. Wilson could hold on, trying to toe drag one, but couldn't. And Gomez now the other way. Gomez might have a step on his backhand thrown to the front. That finds the end wall. Stepping in is Wesley now. Pokes it to Wilson. Wilson trying to find Gomez in front. Wesley. McCann's there. McCann gets run over as well. That's off. No whistle here. We'll keep playing. Perkins the other way. Glencher with the Gisler trailing. Here's Perkins trying to pull, but can't. More chaos here. Curry sends one through now, but that's sent aside by Wright. This one flipped out now. Savoni can't handle it, and this one will go all the way back, or he will finally corral it.
That was an incredible save by McCann. He got one shoved into him by his own defender. Smart play by the referee to allow this game to continue as they had a 2-on-1 going the other way.
Mickelson sent to the front, just wide there. Opportunity there. It looked like it was Shao maybe. Jersey tucked in. It was Shao on the opportunity. And this one sent forward. Now the other way, Shane. Shane lets one go. Big block there by Savoni. Another chance just wide. Herrick now flipping it to himself, but he's pinned on the wall by Savoni. Herrick trying to throw it in front, but can. And now Glimcher with it. He'll chip it ahead, and he'll take a hit by Shane just a tad late. And they're going to call this icing by the looks of it. Or no, we're going to get a penalty here. I'm not sure what the call is going to be. It's going to be Glimcher. Glimcher heading to the box, too, for high sticking, and he has been one of the leaders in penalty minutes for this side. I did not catch that one, but we'll see what the refs have to say.
I didn't get a sight of it either.
So I saw one from each of the teams go in, though. So I don't know if they were offsetting or there's some discussion happening now. This is the save sequence. I didn't see enough to even capture a replay.
What a save that was by McCann. Absolute yard sale in his own crease. And high stick for one side. We'll look to the score sheet here and see what we can come up with.
Yeah, Shane's currently in the box right now for Notre Dame. I believe the other one is Chow on the other side for Chaparral, who went to the box.
I think it's going to be Glimcher, not Gage Glimcher, but his younger brother, who are both on this Firebird team. And those two brothers have been the head of the penalty problem for the Firebirds. As his older brother, Gage Glimcher, who we have not seen play tonight. He is rostered, but not playing in this one, either scratched or something along those lines. 2 suspensions on the year. So he has been one of the sources of penalty minutes.
So it looks like the penalties will even up. So it'll just be 5-on-5 hockey in this third period.
It's Dylan Shane, 2 for unsportsmanlike, and then offsetting him, Brooks Glitcher, 2 for high sticking. Kaplan with it now. Mickelson has it on his stick but can't clear. Now a chance the other way. Gisler, 1 away from the hat trick. Does he have it? He'll just curl up smartly and wait for help though. Heads up play there by Gisler, not getting too greedy, but Mickey now on the counter. Mickey lets one go. Big save again. Rebound was there, but no gold jerseys could find it. As Mickelson eats another puck and he goes down. And Mickelson slowed his feet as well, as we'll get a whistle here. And it looks like he got caught below the belt.
Couldn't tell if it was below the belt or in his hands based on how he's acting it. I believe that one was below the belt. That one never feels good if you're on the receiving side.
And he is struggling to get to his feet as a party of Firebirds come to his aid, but slowly working his way up after taking a low one. And
we get a look at the shot from Mickey. And then, yeah, that puck caught him right where you don't want it.
And
right in the creator. You do not want to get a puck there.
And I'd assume he's going to be okay, but still not the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, you know, it was after the shot from Mickey, and he's going to head back to the Chaparral bench, probably sounding a little bit like Mickey, so.
Those are some great calls there. I'm loving that. Well, neutral zone draw here.
You know, if there's anything that I can add to this broadcast, it's got to be a comedic stand-up routine, so I'm glad I could enter that in.
Here's a quick chance the other way. Wesley, big save. Rebound was there, but Gomez couldn't arrive in time. And a quick chance off the draw, and some comedic value followed by a high scoring chance there for the Saints.
That's Wesley's best scoring opportunity of the game by a mile. Had nobody in front of him besides McCann, and he got the best of him.
Chance Stallcamp now lets one through, and a big glove save by McCann off the draw.
This is the push that Notre Dame needs. They need to start pressing here, down 1 late in the third period. And this 3 of Wesley, Stallcamp, and Gamez has been pressing hard.
And there was a comeback for the Firebirds 6 games ago, and maybe roles reverse this time as the ice is starting to tilt in favor of the gold jerseys. Urkis, though, Kupanagari with him. Kupanagari with it now. Trying to dance around one. He does successfully, but can't hold on cleanly. Askew tosses one ahead. Trying to keep it in and chew some clock here. 8 flat remaining in the final period. Still killing time on that wall, but this one skips ahead to Wesley. Wesley had a chance moments ago trying to redeem himself. A good pressure by Perkis, and Wesley will reconsider.
Remember, Notre Dame has one of their best players, Shane, in the box right now. Huge advantage for Chaparral.
Shao sends this one in deep off the stick of Umar. Skipping in front, Kupanagari to Umar, chance in front! Somehow Wright kept it out, what a save!
It's an incredible stop there from Wright. He came off of his post, guessing that Umar was going to go towards the middle and closer to the right side. He guessed right. He left that left side very much so exposed for Umar. Thankfully for him and the side of the Saints, he guessed right. It still remains a 1-goal lead, yeah.
But what a save. Almost climbing the ladder there and hiking down that angle. With an offensive zone draw now, and the Firebirds set up. Thrown on net. Chance here for Gisler. Gisler trying to throw another one from an off angle, but couldn't connect. Now Mickelson on the wall.
You just need to kill time if you're Notre Dame. You're going to get your best player back in about 10 seconds.
You need a whistle as well following those 10 seconds for them to return. Chance from another sharp angle there from Mickelson, but Wright says no in front there and swallowed up by Wright. That was done rather, who had a beautiful chance on the doorstep. And both players come out of the box. Shane ever so valuable for the Saints side, and Glimcher for the Firebirds.
Take another look at that. Worked from behind the net. Got it out in front. It was another great stop from Wright. He has been unbelievable as well. Marking McCann on the other side as well. Both these goalies have put together an unbelievable performance.
Lopsided shots starting to appear as a pattern emerges. 32 shots for the Saints, 29 saves, 30 saves for McCann. And then the opposing side, Wright, with 19 saves on 22 shots.
It hasn't felt that lopsided, though. I feel like that first period really took a toll on the Firebirds' shot against total.
And Taylor Nelson talked about quick shifts and how important they would be in this one, and this is where fresh legs are needed. Crunch time here on Sunday night, 6:40 remaining, and McCulloch will pick it up behind his net. Battling away, good forecheck by Wesley. His line has been very good in the last couple minutes. Perkis now the other way. Perkis cutting through the neutral zone. He'll pull it up, trying to send it deep, but a skate gets in the way. Askew now flutters one all the way down, and giving chase here is McCulloch. No icing will be called.
Yeah, that comes into play with the ice not being zammed in between the periods. That puck is going to slow down, so especially for the Firebirds, you can get away with just flipping it out of the zone, and it probably won't go far enough for icing.
And that ice also means it might need to be an ugly one for the Saints, as clean plays are going to be hard to come by this late on with no ice cuts.
Need some gritty efforts towards the final five here.
Herrick dances around one, cuts around another, but he coughs it up. Gisler with it now. He'll just take it in the neutral zone. He'll flip it ahead. It's Mickelson on the wall. He'll rim this one all the way around for Wright.
You're on the side of Peralta. You have to be praising across the red line and in. You cannot be making any stupid turnovers at that red line on the side of the Firebirds.
And can't afford any icings either and give the Saints any light of setting up. Savoni, chance here for Shane as he couldn't pull the trigger. Good defensive stick by Perkis, who's had himself a night as well. Couple bodies battling below us. Herrick now finds Shane, lets one go, but they couldn't connect. Shane now again. He lets one go off the pipe. He beat McCann, but couldn't beat the post. And Notre Dame still trails, but mounting an attack here. Perkis trying to get it out, but he doesn't get all of it. Good poke there by Dunn, though, as he'll cross the red. Gisler with him. Dunn knifed away by Herrick. Seals him to the wall now, though, and Mickelson comes in support. Mickelson hops around one, takes a hit, no arms in the air. Wilson was the one who gave him a little bump. It just looked like a collision to me, but this one now eating away at the clock, and the whistle will be blown as there was no movement in the puck.
Couple of unfortunate turnovers from the Firebirds in their own zone led to some scoring opportunities for that first line of the Saints. Shane rang one off the crossbar, getting that close to equalizing this game, and could you imagine another comeback tie between these two teams?
And at this point, I don't think anybody wants to see a tie, as I think at this point a tie would feel like a loss for the Firebirds, and a tie would feel like a win for the Saints for sure. Trailing this late in the game. But what a game it's been. Askew behind his own net now. Askew still with it, trying to break this one out for the Saints. Gets a bounce. Harlan steps around one. Askew steps into that. Mickey now slip back in front of Askew. Somehow got the rebound. They score! Maximus Harlan straight to the Firebird student section. We're level at 3.
There's the offense from the Saints coming through. Mickey looked for a pass across to Askew. He found him. And then it was a couple pressuring coming in for the rebound, and they got in there quick. As it's all tied up here at 3. And man, Easton, are we going to have a fun finish?
4 minutes of game time left. 1 second on top of that as well. 4:01 on the clock, and 3-3 tie in what has been a movie of a hockey game here tonight.
That's deflating if you're the side of Chaparral.
Here's Herrick sashaying through a couple, but he's dragged out. Couple arms go up, but none that have stripes on them. Gisler now. He's been a hero in this one so far for the Firebirds, looking to create a little more magic. Battling away, Dunn and Stanius. This one sent up to Perkis. Digging at the wall, yet still. Now Stanius with it, he'll use his legs before moving it to Stallkamp, but they can't connect.
A little bit more urgency there from Stallkamp. He glided towards the puck, which allowed Chaparral to take control. You need to be heads on all the way, full throttle towards that puck.
Stallkamp now, he'll send this one to the far wall. Herrick bumps this one to Mickey. Mickey with a move, but he stood up there by Mickelson.
The Chaparral team has done a great job limiting Mickey.
Gisler now, Coletti trailing. Gisler with a chance. Oh, what a defensive play that is by Coletti to keep him outside. Perkis now regrouping. A couple of people wanted penalties there, including Gisler, but he didn't get it. Gisler stepping in, lets one go, and that one will find the ceiling here on the Coyotes rink. And wow, I'm honestly speechless, Colgan. What a game. We've had 2:40 remaining. We're tied at 3. Chances are coming in bunches for both sides.
Yeah, and it's been lockdown defense from both of these teams. The superstars shown early in Gisler and Shane. But as of late, it's been the depth from the teams that have needed to come in clutch.
And third period is where games are won, and an arm in the air, and you talk about discipline, talk about a bad time to take the penalty if you're the Firebirds.
They will go to the box, either for a boarding or a roughing. See what the official calls. It's going to be a tripping.
Interesting.
Probably could have given them any call you wanted in the playbook there, but hard to tell on that side. There's a face-off win forward for the Firebirds, and just some collision behind the net.
And a key player for them as well in Huijin Park. Going to the box 2 for tripping. Timeout. Firebirds as they'll look to hit the chalkboards. And if you're the St. Power player, which has been solid tonight, they've generated zone time, but not necessarily found the back of the net. If you're Coach Taylor Nelson, what are you telling your guys right now?
Well, first off, this is absolutely huge for Notre Dame. They basically get 2 timeouts on this power play. They're going to be able to set up multiple times and have their superstars rest. So you need to work through those guys. Get the puck to Dylan Shane. Get the puck to Tate Mickey. Have them facilitate the offense and allow them to create scoring opportunities. Look towards Tate Mickey to do something here on this power play. He's been relatively quiet throughout this game. Hasn't produced too many high-scoring opportunities. We saw him ring it off the crossbar a couple of minutes ago. Look towards number 88 in goal to facilitate something here.
And Tate Mickey has 2 apples on the night, but has struggled to find his targets shooting the puck. And you have to imagine their senior standout is the guy they're going to try and run it through. So the 4 for the Firebirds, it's Gisler, it's Perkis, it's Mickelson, and it is McCulloch. And to counter them, Justin Kaplan, Tate Mickey, Brady Herrick, Shane, and then Harlan. 5 forwards up there for the team in gold.
Notre Dame student section on their feet.
Perkis on his forehand, trying to get it out, but he's hemmed in by Herrick. Herrick battling along the door right here below us as he'll step away with it. Herrick walking in, dragging, trying to shoot, but can't pull the trigger. Herrick now over to Harlan. Back to Herrick, now down low Mickey. Mickey looking through the seam, but he'll hold on and reconsider.
Need puck movement if you're the side of Notre Dame. You cannot be selfish.
Harlan walking in, trying to get a shot away, but can't. He takes the tumble now. This one off the glass, but a great job by Dylan Shane to keep that alive. Now Harlan snaps it up top. Mickey now at the point. Herrick at the half wall looking for options. Not much there. Good block by McCulloch, but right back to Herrick. Chance on the doorstep. Mickey scores! Can you believe it? Hogan called it. Tate Mickey is a hero as of now. 4-3 Notre Dame.
Right on cue. Tate Mickey finds the back of the net for the first time in this game. A dejected Chaparral bench, a dejected McCann in the net for the Firebirds. And Mickey finally gets on the board for the Notre Dame Saints. He's been looking all night long.
And I said it last time, and if you blinked, you might have missed it. But just like that, Notre Dame is leading in what has been a seesaw battle between these two squads. Icing called there, and now look to McCann. Chaparral without their timeout as well because they called it on that penalty kill.
I was just about to bring that up. If you're Anthony Peralta, you maybe are scratching your head a little bit and a little bit upset that you used your timeout so early. Now you're trailing by one, and you're not going to have that opportunity to talk it over with your team.
And McCann out to the hash marks here. I'd imagine he goes on possession. And we will have 5-on-6 hockey for almost an entire minute. And all hands on deck for the Firebirds.
You need possession off the faceoff.
And they get just that. Mickelson battling away. He needs support though. Shane floating behind. Perkis gets it knocked away from him, and Kupadagari has it now. He'll send it in deep. McCann slowly making his way to the bench, but Notre Dame with possession, so he can't.
Coach
Shane flip far side. Wesley might have a step now with no empty net. Wesley lets one go. Good save, McCann. Chaparral needs puck right now. Puck is gold for them. Can't quite find their footing here in these last minutes as 60 seconds remain in this duel.
McCann's going to the bench.
And we're going to have a whistle here. And yeah, it's going to be on that Chaparral bench. Not going to be a penalty at all, but McCann was not close enough to the bench before Umar hopped the boards, and that one's going to go to center ice, and that's a costly error if you're the Firebirds.
It is. You were about to get some zone time in the offensive zone. On the previous play, McCann was being called to the bench by Peralta. He didn't look up in time. McCann now chatting with some of the fans behind his net.
And hands on knees over at Notre Dame's side as they'll make some changes to their five. No timeout called from Coach Taylor Nelson. Askew picks it up off the draw, and he'll shovel it in deep. 50 seconds remaining as the countdown begins for the Firebirds. Perkis trying to spark something quickly. McCann following the progress north, but he's still at the bottom of the circles as Chaparral can't hold on to the puck.
There he goes.
McCann going now. Umar gonna have to wait a second. McCann turning back as he just can't find a good time to go.
If you're McCann, you just gotta go to the bench. You have to get that sixth guy on the ice. You have to risk leaving it open.
It's now or never now. Park got a piece of it. This one's going to go to Caden Wright. He covered it for a second, tried to play it and shoot clock. And an error by the official. Thought he was going to swallow it. And now a huge turn of events and an offensive zone draw for Chaparral. 19.4 seconds remaining. They tied it with 3.7 on the clock last time. We'll see if they have a little more magic here on Sunday night.
And they got an absolutely unbelievable break just then. Clock was going to continue to tick. Now they can set up with 6 skaters on the ice.
Huge chance. All in for both sides. Park on the draw. It's tied up. Great job there. Clock winding down. 15 remaining. Wilson will rim this one all the way around. Perkis hustling to get there. 10 remaining. And if they're going to have a tying effort, it's going to need to be now. But Perkis fans. Shane takes a tumble. 2 remaining. And Notre Dame takes a game in unbelievable fashion in a comeback of their own. What a game we were treated to tonight, Colgan. Massive props to both sides, but what are your biggest takeaways for both sides, especially considering the staggering difference in the rankings coming into this? And give me a couple star players to the game.
Yeah, I mean, just from the side of Chaparral, you cannot be upset with that performance. You took the best team in the league, an undefeated team. You had them on the ropes up until under 2 minutes left in the game. for sure Enzo Gisler was their star of the game. And on the side of Notre Dame, just the relentlessness which they showed in that entire game. The Shane line showed it tremendously. And Tate Mickey, he came up clutch when it was needed most. Had the go-ahead goal late in the third period. 1:44 left on the clock with that one. His third point of the night. I think Dylan Shane from the Saints was one of the most noticeable guys on the ice for the entire night.
And Tate Mickey with the game winner of the fourth goal for the Saints, and a guy who's been here for 4 years. He was there when they lost in the state championship, which they lost a handful of years in a row, and then lost in the play-in game to Desert Vista last year. And Tate Mickey forced to watch from the sidelines, but boy, has he come out firing for them to start this year, and he just came up big when they needed him most.
Yeah, and that is so important in high school hockey, is having those players who can come up clutch in the brightest moments. And this Notre Dame side showed why they are undefeated, remaining that way, 9-0-1 on the season, as Chaparral falls to 2-6-1 in the Arizona High School Hockey League.
Well, with that, it's about all we have here from the Ice Den Scottsdale this Sunday night, and that's about all we have to give you guys. I mean, what a game you all were treated to tonight, as well as ourselves. And 4-3, the final score in favor of the Notre Dame Prep Saints. On behalf of myself, Easton Stockford, alongside me on the color tonight, Colgan Herschel, making his debut with Arizona High School Hockey, as we will hope to see him plenty more in the future. And then, of course, wouldn't be here without this man, Dr. Ben Smith, does everything behind the scenes, and quite frankly is the MVP of the squad. Don't know if you have any comments.
I just pushed the buttons. No, it was a great game. Really glad that we chose this one to do this week. This was the game of the week, the game to do, the game to watch, and I think it's one that both teams are going to go back and rewatch.
I will be back to rewatch it myself as well, but we will be back here likely next Sunday, hopefully for another game, and we appreciate you guys tuning in to our very first live stream of the year, hopefully the first of many. But on behalf of all of us here with AHSHA, we wish you all a good night, and we hope you guys will like and subscribe as well to the channel. More incredible games like this one, but we bid you guys adieu from the Ice Den Scottsdale here.
All right, stay tuned for highlights.